Hello, boys. Another thrilling evening of Champions League football. It's safe to say that was one of the best nights that we have all grown up watching. I personally cannot think of the last time when we had so many upsets. So it's very poetic in the sense that Champions League football is not just for the champions, the heavyweights. We had Lille and Aston Villa, Benfica. They all caused upsets, and some of them, if you actually watch the match, they were not upsets really. Like they ended up dominating the game end to end, and the scoreline doesn't even reflect how good their performances were. And of course, we had other games that were a formality. Arsenal PSG, none of us thought it would be that one-sided, but it ended up being. And Barca, marched past young boys. Um, so yeah, very thrilling evening of Champions League football, or evenings I should say. And Charlie from Liverpool and Ajay, welcome to Sports Entertainment Weekly,
Thank you.
representing uh, Real Madrid.
Arch rivals. Here we go.
Start with the Barcelona game itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to. I'm sure you would do everything in your power to avoid talking about the Real Madrid
Only Spanish club to win this week.
champions.
Then,
Flicky
so
rice here.
so
Yes. So, by the way, anybody watching, I actually cover Barca games separately in 1 minute reviews. That's also part of the channel, so you can all check that out and watch the Barca reviews. But speaking in front of other fans is always fun when you can rub it in their face. And the cherry on top is having a Real Madrid fan. So we played young boys, not really a quality opposition by any stretch, but we absolutely dominated the game end to end. So 5 goals, we should have had 3 more if it weren't for the generosity of one Mr. Ferran Torres. And what I love about Barca this season is we are definitely improving game on. So it's like watching Liverpool with Klopp or Carlo Ancelotti with Real Madrid. We finally have an identity after years of relying on individual brilliance and cross and pray tactics and whatnot. So the flick ball is well and truly here, and it has allowed good players to step up and become important, and it has made important players world class, like the likes of Lewandowski, Rafinha, or Pedri, Lamine Yamal. All of them are stepping up, and it's cohesive. Like the
yeah.
gameplay we saw, granted it's a minnows in young boys, but nonetheless, it was like symphony. And I hadn't seen this with Barca since Luis Enrique.
What like that one important contributing factor that literally showed itself in that Barca Young Boys game was the peak fitness of all the 11 players who were on the pitch. I
Oh yeah,
mean,
Hansi Flick.
to be honest, yeah. I mean, Hansi Flick's fitness regime is one to say write books about. Okay, but one particular player who I was most impressed on the pitch was Pedri.
Pedri,
Okay,
yeah.
Petri literally dominated and literally sank the entire game through his dominance of the midfield and the forward lineup. He literally supplied forward passes. I don't know how many forward passes, successful passes that he pulled through his passing, but he was one really fit player who literally dictated the game's rhythm and was literally vital to your final win, to be final thrashing win against Young Boys. But
Yeah.
like even if Pedri wasn't there, I don't know whether Lewandowski would have hit that brace or whether even Inigo Martinez would have seen that strong, if not for a midfield pivot or a midfield control like Pedri yesterday. So to be honest, he was my man of the match. And yeah, to be honest, I forgot who the man of the match was. The real man of
Rafinha.
the match. Yeah, Rafinha was the man of the match. So
Yeah,
my
so
humble
that's
opinion,
exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like
yeah,
you could award the man of the match to any of Pedri, Rafinha,
exactly.
or Lamal. Oh, sorry, Lamine Yamal. Just get confused.
Come
Uh,
on.
and
happens,
they would have
happens.
all deserved it.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love it. Just two sore thumbs. One I mentioned, which is Ferran Torres. He's simply not able to step up to the level that Hansi
Yes.
Flick and the rest of the players around him demands. And the other is somebody whose performances haven't nearly gotten the attention it should, but it will end up once this person starts to cost us games. That is Inigo Martinez. He is solid for most part, but when he comes up against pacey forwards, he's old and he's
Yeah,
not able to catch
Yeah,
up, and
yeah.
he
yeah,
either makes a reckless challenge, or
yeah.
the opposition forward just breezes past Inigo, leaving one on one with the keeper.
He,
That hasn't come back to bite us yet, but I definitely anticipate that. But
I
other
think,
than that, yeah, yes,
yeah.
sir.
So yeah, one thing is, I think Flick is trying to make Inigo play a David Alaba role in Bayern. The thing is, Alaba was younger. That is one
yeah,
thing. Martinez, I think he's good with when the feet is at his work, like when the feet is on the
Ball with his feet.
control, when he has to control possession, he's fine. He's perfectly fine. But Inigo will have it tough tracking back. But the same theory was applied to Alaba and Bayern. Alaba is not the paciest of left backs in the world. But
yes,
the same theory was applied to Alaba at Bayern. Many said that Alaba is going to get caught out and everything. But somehow in Flick's system, he found a way to make it work by having that left-footed centre forward is very integral to his system. That is very clear because the way he's
Centre
making
back.
Inigo Martinez start like every week, it's very clear he wants a left-footed center, like center back. So I think the same theory was applied to David Alaba. I think David Alaba was very successful in Bayern, even though he did not have the
yeah,
pace, even though he almost always found himself in the halfway line, having to
Mm.
defend
So,
the remaining half
but,
of the pitch on his own,
very
and he was
interesting
always
point. One
advanced.
more similarity is just like how they had Alfonso Davis, who's a very pacey left back covering for your
Yeah,
LCB. We have Balde here,
always there. Yeah, yeah.
incredibly quick. The
Yes, I
parallels
wanted to
are.
ask you one thing. Did came in as a substitute or did he start?
Yeah, he was
I didn't
subbed.
see I didn't see the game, by the way.
He didn't start. He came in at 60.
substitute.
Yeah, I think he came in for Petri, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he came for Pedri, and he
It'll
just
be
came out
very
of injury.
interesting.
Yeah,
So it's going to be De Jong and Pedri in a double pivot from here on. Is that the
Yes.
expectation?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be very
uh,
interesting.
I no, to be honest, I don't know whether it will be interesting. I think it's going to be skeptical, to be honest, with De Jong's past form and how he's going to fit into a Hansi Flick system. Considering that if the young guns, that is the young boys like Pedri, Gavi, and all these Lamine
Oh,
Yamal go out of form and into injury for
mm.
Bears, Flick has to stay with De Jong since he came out of injury and has to fit into his style of play. That is what I'm
Just to
skeptical about.
clarify, I don't think it will be Pedri doing the double pivot. We have this
Yeah,
kid, Mark Casado.
Marc Casado.
At the start of the season, it was Bernal and Casado. Then Bernal had that ACL tear. So it's Casado and De Jong, then Pedri in an
Yeah.
advanced, almost a number 8
Pedri
role.
is going to play the Steven Gerrard position.
Yeah,
Number 8.
number 8.
That's true.
Right. Yeah.
I think there's
So
a.
yeah,
I just want
we
to
can.
finish with one last
Mm,
point. There's a lot of parallels with that Bayern team. Whatever Flick is trying to do, Balde,
Exactly.
Nico,
I'll take it
and
any day.
Frankie De Jong, I don't know if it's a fair comparison, but maybe Joshua Kimmich and Frankie De Jong also.
Yeah.
Like these again, Frankie De Jong. It's difficult to call Joshua Kimmich a pure defensive midfielder or a pure right back or a
That's
pure
true.
anything.
They're proper
And that is
CM.
the same thing can be applied for De Jong also. It's very
Yeah.
difficult to call De Jong a pure CDM or a pure number 8 or
Like
a
is
pure.
basically De Jong with potential realized.
Yeah.
But you
I think
take what you can do.
yeah, I think, but one player, one kind of player, Flick might misses Goretzka. He had that physicality and like
Oh yeah.
pure physical phenomenon, like nothing
Yeah.
else. So I don't think Barca
You
has
know
that. But anyway,
who
we'll see.
Flick would have loved in this setup? Two players that left Barca years before Hansi Flick actually came on board. So one is Arturo Vidal and the other is Paulinho.
Yeah.
He would
I was
have
about to say Paulinho. Yeah,
Physical beasts. Yeah.
yeah.
The pure physical power manifested into
even
into those
Frank
beings.
Kessie would have been a good fit, but Xavi
Frank
just
Kessie.
Yeah, Frank
Yeah.
Kessie would have been a good fit. Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
well,
But anyway, the system is working, so nothing to complain as of now.
yeah.
So it's
yeah,
something.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
I'm glad like we spent 10
Shout
minutes
like
on Barca.
shout out to Frank Kessie, man. We'll never forget that goal at the Red Clasico. I mean, phenomenal goal.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah,
had
yeah,
that
yeah.
one
Yeah.
perfect.
What a goal. Yeah. We'll never forget that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So what else? We had Arsenal versus PSG. I
Yes.
got like glimpses of the game because it was running the same time as the Barca game. But if you look at the result, it's safe to say you would be surprised. Like for all the purple patch that Arsenal is having and PSG not, really doing that. Still, 2-0 with such a dominant win was shocking
Yeah.
to me at least.
Man, see, uh, 2-0 for you're saying that it was a shocking win. Okay, one stark difference that I see in the past PSG team and the current PSG team that considered 2 goals Arsenal and made Arsenal look like were some 5-time Champions League winning team was PSG. Not only like 1 or 2 years ago had a front line of Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar. Now they have a front line of Bradley Barcola, Lee Kangin, and some like 18-year-old
Desiree
GCSE
Doué.
GCSE studying kid who I can't even pronounce his name. And the PSG Ultras are expecting them to play like Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. Okay, who clearly are not at any level. Okay, even Asensio and Dembele can play 10% of what Neymar and Mbappe can replicate, but these kids never can. At least not for the moment right now. I mean, forget that midfield, man. Like a couple of years back, PSG had a midfield of Danilo Pereira, Vitinha, and Manu Ugarte, if I'm not wrong. Now Ugarte is gone, Danilo Pereira is gone, Vitinha is also gone. Okay. They just have Marquinhos, the 300 game legendary centre back that they have, who just broke their appearances record to show that they have this
300.
team. Yeah, I mean, easily crossed 300. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
surprised.
isn't Vitinha still there? I think Vitinha is still there.
Vitinha is still there.
Yeah, I
He
think
doesn't.
one of them is still there, but the
Okay.
midfield is not right now. Jabnava, he's not starting Fabian Ruiz. I think he's going with Jabnavas, who's the Warren Zaire Emery,
Warren Zay
and
Emery. Yeah.
yeah, I think Vitinha. The third midfielder, I think, is Vitinha. He's not
Okay.
he's not starting Fabian Ruiz at the moment, but
I'm
whatever you
I'm
said holds true anyway.
I'm
So
surprised. I'm surprised Vitinha hasn't moved to Wolves yet. To be honest. So yeah,
I think
considering that. Yeah,
you know the face.
Considering that Wolves is actually a Portugal national team. So
Yeah, I think Mendes is not dealing anything with
yeah,
Wolves right now because
exactly.
he'll be in Wolves by now. But yeah.
Yeah,
But see, one criticism we all had of PSG is that they're buying too many stars. They're not
exactly.
playing a coherent team and everything. Now it's the exact opposite. Like it's curious how things change in just 2 years. It's the exact opposite. It's like they have zero stars
Exactly.
and it looks bad
Yeah.
again. It looks bad
I mean,
again because they
okay. Take for sorry to cut you in, but take for example the goalkeeper position. Okay,
yeah.
Gianluigi Donnarumma was, to be honest, the most promising prospect of goalkeepers in the entire world. Now he's like little nobody. I don't even remember how he played. Like, I mean, who was the goalkeeper of PSG? That's what I asked my brother yesterday. Okay, he's a shadow of himself. The team is a shadow of itself. So, I mean, I'm not surprised Arsenal won 2-0. So that's my verdict of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know whether either of you watched the full game, but I think Hakimi had a good game.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They have good fullbacks. That is
I'm
one thing with
actually
PSG.
I'm
They
honestly
have
never
good
seen
fullbacks, but
Hakimi have a bad game. Like he always steps up, and I loved it when
yeah,
he left Real Madrid because we didn't have to deal with him. I hated him because he was so good, and I think even yesterday, like he was really good. In the 90th minute, also he made that um, bolt of a run, and
yeah.
and
He always makes that. That is his trademark run.
Yeah, trademark run.
Trademark run to the
The
right.
Alfonso Davis often makes this run, that bolting run, like from the half lane into that final third, which no one can even catch up to. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Hakimi does a similar sort of run.
I don't know. PSG, I don't think they have an enforcer in attack right now. Like somebody who will just
Exactly.
come play direct. Dembele is the only one that can do that, but we all know
Asensio.
Dembele. We all know Dembele.
When
This was coming. This was
I-
coming for a long, long time.
whenever you mention Dembele, I just remember that Hristo Stoichkov's 4-minute video where he like berates Dembele like anything. Yeah, I mean, he literally just get out of the club.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Get it
literally
out.
get out of the club,
he
hang that
had
shirt, get out of the club. Yeah,
yeah he had a
pure
point.
legend,
Yeah.
man, pure legend.
Cool.
I mean,
What else? Let's move on to the next game,
Yeah,
boys.
let's move on to
Let's
the next
cover
game.
the trio
The
of
most boring game.
upsets. I want to spend the most time because Ajay is there with that particular game. But before that, let's look at their rivals, Benfica Atletico Madrid. 4-0 coming on the
for
back of
yes,
what was termed as a brave draw against Real Madrid.
yes,
The fans chanting names, and it felt like everything came crashing down. And I didn't watch the whole game, but if you looked at the highlights, Benfica should have had at least two more goals than what they had.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was such a dominant performance, and I have no clue. And based on what I read, it's Simeone ditching his own tactics and trying to freewheel, and that backfiring epically.
I mean,
I'm not really affected. Sorry, sir. You go on. Charlie, go first.
yes. So yeah, from what I heard and from what I saw from the highlights, so like it seems Angel Di Maria had a cracker of a game,
Yeah.
and he alone must have scored a hat trick, to be honest, and he missed some chances which must have been almost open goals and stuff. But I think he had a cracker of a game, and yeah, Benfica they Estadio Dragao. Sorry, Benfica their home
Benfica,
stadium.
Benfica's home.
Yeah, they are I think like second or third in their league, and they have a minimal goal difference. And yeah, they just had 20 shots in their game yesterday, man, against Atletico Madrid of all teams. I mean, so yeah, if they hit 20 shots and they just hit 4 goals against Atletico, yep, come on. Atletico had 4 shots in all the game, 4 shots in all game. So, yep, it was a complete overshadowing and a complete one-team game. So, yeah,
Yeah. I don't mind. I don't mind Real Madrid losing 1-0 if it's going to give me Atletico Madrid losing
Atletico.
4-0 versus somebody.
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
mind at all. I will
You're-
take that game week every week. Every
Yeah.
week from now on, if you tell me 1-0 Real Madrid lost, 4-0 Atletico, I'll take it for the rest of the season.
No,
So,
to be honest, you guys just had a 1-0 like you can term the loss as disappointing.
yeah.
Okay. But Benfica just curb stomped Atletico at their ground.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not a defeat, that's a humiliation they gave Atletico.
Also,
So,
their heaviest defeat. The last time,
exactly.
I don't know if you guys remember, Dortmund defeated them 4-0 in 2019 sometime.
Yes.
So that was, I think in the same year they came across Spurs in quarterfinals, lost something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
So after that, this is the heaviest ever European defeat. They have losing by 4 goals is the heaviest they ever in their entire history of European competition.
Yeah.
So this is such a bad defeat. So I follow a lot of Atletico fan pages, so I was very happy. Like everybody was saying this is the worst game I've seen in my life and everything. I will take this 1-0 Real Madrid defeat any day.
Yes,
I
let's
don't-
get to the Madrid game. Lily,
I'll just say one thing. A
Yeah.
special shout out to Akhtar Kaglu, who they got from Galatasaray. Their Benfica's left winger Akhtar Kaglu, and
Oh.
right now Turkey has a very good mix of wingers. There is Kenan Yıldız from Juventus, Akhtar Kaglu in Benfica, and there is obviously Arda Güler from Real Madrid.
The Orhan Koku who hit the penalty from yesterday from Benfica.
Yeah. They just have a lot of really
Yeah.
good mix of players. So, yeah, I think we'll go to the Real Madrid.
So the,
Somebody
like,
else.
jumping to
Somebody
the
else.
jumping to the white side of Madrid right now.
yes.
Yeah.
Who wants to go?
Okay, so jumping to the white side of Madrid. So yeah, we just mentioned Benfica just curb stomped Atletico, and their defeat was just disappointing. What actually went wrong yesterday against actually a not much stronger Lille side, and a Lille side which just they just parked the bus in the second half, man. They just didn't do anything. So what do you think went wrong yesterday?
I can take that. I can.
Yeah,
take that.
go on.
Go on.
I think it was like any Madrid game that we have all gotten used to. The only difference is the Lille goalkeeper Chevalier, he had a cracker of a game. Real Madrid, as usual, they went down by 1 goal, and yeah, I think it was Vinicius would have pulled one of the Lille players on his way to the goal, so they gave a free kick, and Camavinga blocks with his hand, and they get a penalty. And so far, it's very usual. We have seen Madrid go down by a goal multiple times across the seasons, both in the league and Champions League. But what they couldn't pull off this time was that comeback. They threw the kitchen sink at Lille, but their goalie Chevalier, I think he wouldn't have it, and that was the second best goalkeeping performance of the week for me. We'll get to the first in a bit, and Bobby Enrique or Vinicius, they all had their chances. Arda Güler, who also had a decent game from what I saw. So I would pin the loss more down to their brilliance, their goalie's brilliance, than Madrid, not clicking or something like that.
Yeah, I think the problem has been constant this season. The problem has been constant right from like game week 1 of La Liga, which is like inability to break down low blocks. To put it very simply, whenever a good low block team is going to face Real Madrid, they're going to enjoy facing us because there's nothing creative to break them down per se. There is who we are missing. Everybody knows Tony Cruz, but then we also knew Tony Cruz was not going to be there for like 2 months of preseason and everything. So we should be
Yeah.
better prepared to break down low block. Do we have the talent to do it? I think so, but we cannot start everybody. We cannot start Guler, Rodrigo, Vinicius, Mbappe, Bellingham, everybody. Somebody must be compromised. If you think
But you,
if Carlo thinks Guler is the creative force to break down low blocks, and I can tell you for sure after this performance, many teams in Europe, even good attacking teams, they are going to sit back against Real Madrid. I can give you that because it's very obvious we cannot break down low blocks.
do you
And
think it has to do with a lack of balance? You have too many options in the forward line, and like you said, Modric is a substitute these days, and you don't have Tony Cruz, and none
yeah,
of your middies are really experienced.
I,
And add to the fact that you have this whole, this tension. It's very evident. This undercurrent between
yeah.
Vinicius and Mbappe. It feels
Mbappe.
like all of it is going to, come and blow up in your face sometime in the middle of the season.
I think see in Real Madrid, on any given season, you always have this tension on you should win a game against anybody. It could be Bayern, it could be against Bayern in their own stadium. You always have this thing of you should win that game. But if you see, if you take Carlo's most recent tenure, we have been more than happy away from home. We have been more than happy drawing games. Like we have been more than happy like going there like 1-1, 2-2. We have been more than happy to take that result, come to Santiago Bernabeu on an even field, and then win that game. We have always been there. But the trick with this UCL format is we're not going to play Lille again at Santiago Bernabeu. We're going to play like
Exactly.
another
Yeah.
team, and that is why I thought when the fixture was announced, group stage is going to be really tough for
It's
Madrid
gonna
because
be exactly.
there is
So
no
thank you.
home.
Yeah.
That's what
We
I
have
want.
lost so many away games. There are so many times we have gone to Paris and they have thrashed us in Paris. But when they come back in Bernabeu, I know we will win.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. And we all know the fan base. We all know they don't like even a single defeat. It doesn't matter 1-0, 2-0. They have. I feel like they have reacted way too harshly to this defeat, calling for in Twitter like too many accounts calling for Carlos resignation. And all this way too
Oh,
dramatic,
come
way
on.
too Twitterish. Like
Okay.
these things only happen in Twitter, but yeah, the criticism with Carlo has been we have barely outplayed teams in the past three seasons. We have barely gone to somebody else's home and outplayed them there. That has been the criticism, and that continues. I don't think we're going to do it this season either. So we need to be smart. We need to accept that we are still not good enough to outplay teams. And if you think just adding clean Mbappe is going to thrash teams away from him, it's not going to happen. And in European football, this is the beauty of European football, right? You will find teams like Lille who will just a simple low block could just get a 1-0 win against Real Madrid. Well, Man City last season they gave their hearts out at Etihad, they couldn't win that game. So that is football. That is football in a nutshell. So
I'm really excited to see Real Madrid in the new Champions League format because to me it feels like we took away your biggest strength, which is Santiago Bernabeu being that
in the
deciding.
group stages, but anyway, in knockout stages it will come back. But in group
Yeah,
stages,
that's true. So the catch is you don't have four matches anymore.
yeah,
It's
you don't
lot
have
more matches, and Real Madrid could realistically, you struggled against which team was it in match week one? The German opposition was it?
yeah, Stuttgart,
Stuttgart.
Stuttgart. So
Yeah,
Stuttgart.
Stuttgart, we did struggle in phases in that game. See, the thing
yeah,
is,
and 3-1 was not reflective of how the game went.
yeah, it was not really reflective of. We
Something
didn't
like
dominate that game per se.
here, Lille actually managed to get the 3 points, and if couple more teams do that, then you're seriously revisiting your chances of even qualifying to the knockouts.
We will see.
Okay, I'm being overly optimistic
Yeah,
because
I know you've been blown away by what a final victory against Young Boys, but
Young
yeah,
boys. Yeah.
enjoy it till December. We'll be
I
there in
shall, I
knockouts
shall.
anyway.
And as Hansi Flick would say, you get the same points for beating PSG or Young Boys in the
Young
Champions
Boy,
League.
yeah, that
So
is
we
true
take
though.
that,
It's
I
true.
cannot
take
debate
that
that.
any day. And no, see, I'm when I say excited, this is what I mean, right? Like Real Madrid didn't seem to have a weakness in Champions League.
No, I'm genuinely excited. I'm genuinely
Yeah,
excited because last Champions League, like it was becoming one side. I'm genuinely excited for the new format, to be honest. It is. I feel the group stage at least is going to be worth it.
My wallet is too big for my 50s and my diamond shoes are too tight. It was getting one-sided.
I just want to finish. Let's just finish Real Madrid.
Yeah,
I want to say one thing about
yeah.
Bellingham. A lot of criticism about him, and every time Pedri and Bellingham play on the same day, I swear the only comparison between him and Pedri. I don't know why. Isn't there any other midfielder in the world to compare him with? I don't know. But see, Pedri is always going to good. Whenever Pedri plays, he's going to look better on the eye. Let me give it to him. Any day Pedri plays on the eye, he's going to look better than Bellingham. Bellingham does a lot of dirty work which doesn't get appreciated. In this match, he worked as hard as Valverde. That is the credit I will give to him. And not many can like match up to
By
Valverde.
the way, he had a chance that could have equalized, like
Could have
88th
equalized.
minute or something, and that
He
was one of the.
probably would have taken it last season when he was in
Yeah,
the run of form
I don't
last
think
season.
even this season it really wasn't his fault. Like he
Yeah,
had this
not his
just
fault.
coming in, and some days the keeper is just magical.
And
I
Carlos
would have
played
hated it if Bellingham actually ended up, equalizing in 87 or 88.
yeah.
Imagine waking up in the morning and said, "Here we go again."
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I think, see, on paper, it looks like a 4-4-2 from last season without Mbappe. But Bellingham is not playing higher up the pitch like he did last season. This game, he did not play higher up the pitch. Last season, people are saying he's playing as a striker, he's not a midfielder and everything. This was a proper midfield game for him. And I think I would say it's a 7 out of 10. It's not a bad performance, it's not a great performance. It's somewhere in between from Bellingham.
that's
So,
Bellingham for you, the Taylor Swift of football.
There is perfectly put. Perfectly put.
Very average,
okay, we'll see. We'll see.
extraordinary.
It's still early days. We'll see. Let's move on to the
Yep.
next game.
Yeah, I still expect Real Madrid to, come hunting us down for both the league and Champions League. Like you'd be an absolute moron to count them out at any point, regardless of the competition. That said, let's move on to the final game: Aston Villa versus Bayern Munich. My guy put on a world-class performance, kept Bayern at the bay. One of the most inspiring
So,
performances.
so
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
have much else to add apart
I mean,
from that. He
so
single-handedly
yeah,
kept them in the game.
yeah. So I
That's not
just
entirely true. The referee helped big time. Sorry, Charlie. Let me just finish this thought.
okay, da. Okay, da.
Upamecano was, he should have gotten sent off. He twice in the space of 5 minutes when he was the last man, he actually pulled an Aston Villa forward. He should have been yellow carded twice, and that didn't happen. The ref was being very kind, considering the hostile environment that Aston Villa was. It was quite shocking. Being a home
Yeah.
game, you would expect him to do that, and Aston Villa should have ended up winning this, by 3 or 4 goals, playing 11-on-10. Bayern were very lucky to get away with just 1-0.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I once a couple of days ago, I just saw an Aston Villa fan page where Aston Villa fan page video where Aston Villa played Bayern Munich like in the UEFA Champions League final. There is the European Cup final in the year 1966 or
Oh
1967.
yeah, 42 years ago they
Yeah,
came.
42 years ago. Yeah, 52 years ago or 42 years ago. I'm not sure about the year, but it was 1960s or 70s. So it seems Aston Villa beat Bayern Munich in the exact same scoreline of 1-0 in that match too. So that fan page actually put and actually held a petition that he bet that Aston Villa will beat Bayern Munich by the same scoreline, and they actually did. Like, to be honest, hats off to the villains and hats off to the Aston Villa team for pulling off this win. To be honest, no one expected this to be an Aston Villa win since they are literally new to the Champions League after, if I'm not wrong, decades of not playing European football,
Yeah.
and then
And
defeating
yeah,
Bayern Munich in their home
not to
turf.
mention, Villa actually came really close to getting relegated like three,
Yeah,
four
really?
seasons
I mean,
ago.
give me a second.
They
Give
should
me a
have been
second.
relegated. They should
I
have
mean,
been relegated.
that's what I was coming to say. 4 years ago, Aston Villa were a goal line technology decision away from being relegated to the championship, and now they're playing Bayern Munich in the UEFA Champions League, and they just beat them in their home. So
It's
that is
for you.
football, mate. Football for
Yeah.
you, mate. That's it. Yeah.
If you
I mean,
if you take into account all the refereeing errors, Real Madrid would have ended up with
it ended
80
up.
points. So that's always there.
Perfect, man.
I don't,
Perfect.
I don't even want to take this seriously, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
you.
let's just leave it there.
Neither do the referees when it comes to
Exactly.
Madrid games. That's the problem that we all have.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
You all have seen the game. If someone falls penalty or Real Madrid, like that meme, you would have all seen that reel,
People
right? So
hate cliches. Cliches are cliches for a reason.
yeah.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking the time.
Yeah,
And
one
thank you, Ajay, for showing
just
face.
just
Yeah.
just one point, Thiago Alcantara, the next time you are watching a match in any other stadium, please let the public know. The first time you were at a match, you were at Anfield watching the Nottingham Forest game, who are playing Liverpool. Liverpool lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. This time you were actually at the Villa Park watching Aston Villa play Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich lost 1-0. Liverpool
Spanish,
and Liverpool and
Spanish
Bayern
version
Munich.
of United Tray.
Exactly. Liverpool and Bayern Munich.
Who's this?
This
Thiago.
is Thiago Alcantara.
Thiago Alcantara.
Yeah.
Oh,
So he
our
was,
guy.
he was at both the games. So
Okay.
Thiago Alcantara, please feel free to let the football public know in which game you are going to see the match or which stadium you're going to visit next. We'll be prepared. Yeah.
He still has it
Alright.
in him after retirement.
Oh, we are bringing him back to Barca, by the way, from January.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see what Barca's home record is after January.
Hey, I just covered the Liverpool 2-0 Bologna game.
Oh,
Man.
yeah.
Give me a couple of minutes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
Liverpool won.
Nobody
Come on,
cares
man.
about that match for some reason. Go on.
I'm just showing the badge,
Yeah,
and you're just not at all giving a
such an
nod here.
obligation to cover.
Yeah. So just 1 minute here. So Liverpool just beat 2-0 at Anfield. We beat Bologna. So I am getting used, to be honest, to like the Arne Slot's game. There is the Arne Slot treatment of all the other managers by beating them by 2 goals or 3 goals. I mean, 2-0 or 3-0 is the typical scoreline that we've had over the past 2 months since Arne Slot took over. So I'm actually being I'm being used to this scoreline. Shout out to Alexis McAllister and Virgil van Dijk, because every other game these people are producing out and out masterclass performances which go under the radar and are underappreciated. Okay, so shout out to McAllister since he put a goal, and shout out to Mohamed Salah too for recreating that perfect cut-in and curve goal which he produced against Chelsea. That Arjen Robben cut-in and slot
Okay,
goal.
bro, this is not an annual day speech.
So no, I have to give. Come on.
Light
just
people
put-
get
He's just so proud of the.
Yeah, he's just named like half
It's
the level
Anfield,
in his
right?
shoutouts.
The game was at Anfield, right?
Yeah, Anfield. I mean, you just spoke you just spoke for 6 minutes for Barcelona, man. Come on, I just spoke like 1.5 minutes now.
Yeah, you spoke for, if you can speak of 6 minutes for young boys, means you can speak 10 minutes for Bologna.
Exactly. Okay, but yeah.
we score 5 goals and we'll talk. Or Ajay, in your case, win games, then we'll talk.
Okay.
Okay.
Just for 2 weeks. Keep it going. Keep it going.
keep
till
it
it
going.
lasts.
Anyway, I feel bad for Charlie's girlfriends or ex-girlfriends because he's very bad at letting go. I've been calling the curtains on the stream for good 5 minutes now. He hasn't been able to. Anyway, thank you so much for joining, gentlemen. We'll check out our Premier League review that we do on Monday nights, and my Barca reviews that we do whenever Barca wins. All right, thank you. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.